Oh, howdy folks, this is Jackers, and this is Star Citizen, and we're waking up here in the city of New Babbage, actually where we left off last time, although, well, there's a big show going on here right now. So I thought we'd go take a look. We already a bit look the part. I got some souvenirs when I checked it out the other night. I wasn't feeling quite good enough to make a video, but I would like to think that I am right now. So let's give it a whirl. I will try and speed things up as we go, just to make it a little easier to get through. Okay. So we'll see how we do. These signs, the IAE 2952 signs in Drake red. If I remember, we'll talk a little bit about the lighting. Anyway, oh, train. Run. Okay, we made it. With 6 seconds to spare. Okay. And we can look out into the snow and the stars in the night as we ride from the Aspire Grand Hotel towards the Tobin Center. Rather swiftly. Train's got go. And this is the place. You can kind of tell. Okay. A few things about lighting and red. Red is a funny color in light in that your eyes will become accustomed to it rather quickly. You might have seen war movies or submarine movies where they have red battle lights. There's a reason for that. Eventually your eyes kind of won't necessarily turn it to white, but it will fade from its deep, deep red. So the best way to use red light, even red accents, is sparingly. Less is more. More is not more. It's sort of like making a star drop. A star drop is where you take a black curtain or cloth of any kind, I suppose, and put lights in it. Here we have the schedule. So, and this is a lot of red. And because it's a lot, it's going to do two things. It's going to eventually sort of fade out in your eyes. Again, it's not going to go away. It's just not going to be as saturated as it may seem at the moment. And, well, it becomes considerably less special because it's everywhere. One of the better ways to use it is as a highlight or as a backlight or downlight, or to recess it behind something. That's actually an exceptional way. Anyway, let's take a look at the map and we will stop yammering about red light. And so in the main hall here, we've got the Corsair, the Caterpillar in AH5 over there. We've got the Herald, the Buccaneer, some cutters, and a Vulture. AH4, we've got Cutlass Blue, Steel, Red, and Black. And in, I'm guessing, Apex Hall lower level, we've got the Mule, the Dragonfly, and a hollow image of the Kraken. Now, I actually have a Cutlass Black. That sounds incredibly loud to me. I don't know why. It wasn't like that earlier. May have to fix that I'm not really entirely sure. I might be able to fix it in post, as it were. So this is a Drake Corsair. Let's see what we've got here. Heed the call of uncharted space and harness the spirit of exploration with the Drake Corsair, a worthy companion supporting you in battle, discovery, and delivery wherever the winds of adventure may steer you. Focus exploration. You can tell by the exploratory guns that, well, bristle from snout and wing. 'Tis a fire-breathing beastie. It is asymmetric in its wing design. Okay, we're going to hold here for a minute. I've got to do something about this. Okay, curiously, this music is actually considered a sound effect. Let me test this again. Okay, we've toned it down, but we're going to lose things like footsteps and other... Well, that'll happen. Okay. Let's try. I know it's here somewhere. I know I should know this already, but did we rent this already? Apparently not. Here. There. No, not that. Come on. No, we can't. Can't activate that. We may have to look at this one in a hangar. Or take it out for a spin. Or we can see if we can jump over. Alright, stand by. Let's get a run up on this. Ready? Here we go. Oh, yeah. It made me think I had it, but I didn't. Okay. And this is just another Corsair. I don't think there's anything at all different about it. And a third. Okay. And here we have the magnificent Caterpillar. So this is sort of the, let's call it a command module. At the moment it does not detach, but the intention is that it will, and I understand in lore that Caterpillar drivers will race their command modules, their cabs, as they are separate from their ships. I suppose it gives them something to do while the cargo is being unloaded. Or they're running from the local law enforcement, whatever the case may be. Now, if I were a Caterpillar, it would be right there. Excellent. And there is one of the turrets. Okay. I guess we can start aft with engineering access. That's curious. I wonder if we're listening to NPC chatter. Or at least I wonder if I'm listening to NPC chatter. You may be listening to it too. You never know. I could just be an NPC. The upper hallway. This is server access. And eventually the idea is that you will be able to put server blades in to use your computers, basically, to control turrets and other functions. This, I believe, is to be tractor beam control for the loading and unloading of cargo. Not sure exactly how that's going to work. It doesn't exactly look like a great view, but perhaps it'll be like a turret that you sort of, like the remote turrets, you sort of operate from a camera view, quote unquote, but you're actually in it. So this is the command module, the cab of this truck, and living quarters for the cab crew. Another, I believe, tractor beam emplacement, which looks to have a much better view of the interior and potential exterior. Although, again, each one of these segments can hold cargo, so not entirely sure how you would do that for the most forward positions. There is a bathroom here. I believe there's a button that deploys the facilities, but I can't quite remember if it's functional or where the button is. So there's that. Up we go. Back here, and as we move forward, we have an EVA hatch, module access, and my understanding is there will also be other modules aside from cargo that you can put into your Caterpillar, although I don't know what they will be. I suppose we could assume sort of medical or scientific or military, maybe like a jump bay with jump seats. And didn't actually intend to come down here, but you know, things happen. Get a little too close to the ladder and can't control yourself. The front loading position. These are great ships. And there is a forward turret, I believe. Here we can close the doors. Or open them for a little more atmosphere. Okay. We can head down here. Sort of. And here we have main cargo bay, living quarters, dining position, the facilities. So you can continue your conversation with everyone while they're still having chow. And then we can redeploy ourselves to the convention hall. It's just me, or does that seem a little angled as it came down? The landing gear might have something to do with how the Caterpillar got its name. And a look at the starboard side. And a look at Stanton. The heavenly bodies of Stanton, the system we're currently in. Okay, so let's see what we've got over in this direction. Well, quite a few things. We've got the Buccaneer. No ejection seat. a bit less sturdy than perhaps the things it might compete against, but some pretty serious armament. Guns, guns, and oh yeah, guns. I think I forgot to rent the cat. Oh well. I don't know that we'll have time to go through everything, or that I will have the energy to do it, but we can climb into this Buccaneer. Okay. There we go. Zoom. I kind of like the Buccaneer. It's fun. Here we have the newest edition. There is the Buccaneer sign if you'd like to pause and read. This is the Drake Cutter. Newest edition. Well, along with the Corsair. We knew the Corsair was coming. This one sort of leapt upon us like a buccaneer from the shadows. We have some living quarters. We have the facilities. I know this button works. There you go, Switchblade facilities. And shower overhead. Okay. And entering pilot's seat. I don't think we can ready up. No. But there's a cool little button, I think it's here, but it won't work because we don't have power. But basically the side windows, these left and right windows, deploy armor. And that is the Drake Cutter. Pretty decent deal. You can get it as a starter package ship, and I think it's like $45, and then you can add Squadron 42, the single player game, for another 20. Although it'll say 40, it's actually 20 when you add it. It's like the price drops when you add it. There we go. That happened. Okay. The Drake Vulture. Living quarters. The Shoilet shower toilet combo. The pilot seat. And from here... Wow. Thank you. I disbelieve, though. So we can actually exit to the front here. Walk along the salvaging arm. So these create these beams that strip the material off ships' hulls. There's another ladder here. I should mention this is sort of the processing area. So you strip the material, it comes in here and gets rendered down into... I can't remember what the acronym is or what it stands for. And it comes out as a little cube, and then you have this little cargo grid here. You can stack it up and then take it to sell. I missed the Drake Herald over here. Shame on me. The Herald. Not much in weaponry. Not overwhelmingly much to look at. These are to be data drives. So this ship is signal storage, signals intelligence sort of gathering. And should you need to drop your data cargo so it doesn't get intercepted, you can do that. Have one bed back here. Used to have two. This used to be a bed also. And here is your data gathering position. This functionality is not in the game yet, but the Herald is a fast ship, but doesn't have much in the way of stamina for long runs. Maybe that's something that'll be looked at. Or I suppose you could fix with different quantum drives. But the tank is kind of small. Okay. But for a little ship, it has some very big engines. So it definitely has some get up and go. Okay, coming into Apex Hall 4. Ready for the big reveal. A family of Cutlass. Crouched and ready for action. The blue, a sort of militia, local law enforcement, bounty hunter focused ship. So this is what would be the beginning of the cargo hull. There is a little bit of cargo space here, but mainly you have these pods to cryogenically store prisoners, a docking ring, habitation. So you've got a couple of beds, turret up above. This does have a different canopy style with a pretty decent view, I gotta say, compared to the others. No struts to interrupt the view. And personal storage and weapon storage. And here we have the Cutlass Red. Sort of the Cutlass ambulance. Less armament, but 100% more medical beds. 200% perhaps even. 1 and 2, another docking ring. And facilities, a couple of beds, storage, and a cockpit with more struts. So not a horrible view, but not nearly as unobstructed as the Cutlass Blue. And here we have the Cutlass Black. More cargo space, 46 SCU, I believe. Standard Cargo Unit, I believe, is what that acronym stands for. turret up above, 2 beds, no facilities, some storage, same cockpit view as the red. But honestly, a pretty great ship. If you don't use one as your starter, it's probably a serious contender moving up from starter. The rear engines here can, on all the cutlasses, can tilt down and go into VTOL mode. And here we have the Cutlass Steel, which is just a weird beast. It's a Cutlass turned gunship. So, guns, and lots of jump seats for lots of soldiers, but they're not really the toughest of ships, and the question of whether or not the atmospherics can support them, I think, is no. They need to operate on their own suit's oxygen. Same view. And it's kinda about twice the price of the other Cutlasses. Certainly more than twice the Cutlass Black. So I'm just not really convinced of the Cutlass Steel's position. There are other dropships and other gunships, and I guess I would say it's a cheaper gunship, but it's not really, at least not by that much. Okay, and heading down the stairs, we find a trio of Drake Dragonfly hover bikes. 2-seaters, so you've got one folk that sits forward and one folk that sits facing rearward, with the advanced ability to shoot at anyone who might be chasing you. Not that Drake encourages you to do anything illegal for which you might be chased. Over here we have the Drake Mule. Relatively recent addition, but a kind of cute little thing. So you can go do delivery missions and put your little cargo box on either side there, and then just motor back to your ship. And these fit in a fair amount of ships. Okay. On to the display hall and the remaining Drake ship. The engines of the Kraken. A carrier. And not of sorts. It's a carrier. The Kraken has been released, and that means one thing. There's no putting it back. This attack carrier has changed the way militias operate forever. And when it comes to personal defense, there's one thing you never want to be: falling behind. A protector and a beacon of freedom in an often cruel universe, Drake Interplanetary has made this capital-class ship available to all those tasked with safekeeping those unable to protect themselves. The Kraken is both a sanctuary and a self-contained war machine, ready to take on the most daunting adversaries. There are actually 2 versions of the Kraken. The more military-minded Kraken and the Kraken Privateer, which, if I remember correctly, sacrifices some cargo space to put in, well, basically a market. A place for retail shops to set up and to sell. And that is the Drake side of the IAE. I think we might wrap this video up here just to keep things self-contained and, well, not eternal. Around you can see various weapons, and I should add that the IAE is, well, and I think it's until November 30th of 2022 you can create an account with Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries, the website, and fly free in Star Citizen if you have a PC that can handle it. You can also pick up a bite to eat and a bit to drink. But, yeah, that is the Drake floor of the IAE 2952. That wasn't awkward at all. Anyway, I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video informative and maybe even just a little bit entertaining. I would like to invite you to think of something you are truly grateful for, something which brings a smile to your face, a true warmth to your heart. Hang on to it for a moment and let it brighten your day. I'd also like to ask you to think about maybe, if you enjoyed the video, hitting that old like button, and if you're not subscribed, thinking about that too. It helps me know if I should keep doing this, I mean making videos. It's a question that's come up of late. Anyway, it's a nice thing to do too, and I really do appreciate it. And leave a comment. I appreciate those as well. Most of all, though, I would like to ask you to please take care.